Howdy good people. Driving down to... Just driving to the gym, but yeah. I'm not surprised with the Nationals leaving Liberals and the Uni Party. I think Labor and Liberals should just form and call themselves the Uni Party and say we don't give a fuck about humanity. We only give a fuck about our political party and sustenance and maintenance of the bureaucratic state. We no longer have a democracy in Australia. We really haven't had one for a very long time. But what we've got now is the bureaucratic state, which means that, and I've said this before, the only thing that now matters is the maintenance of this and the sustenance of the bureaucratic state. Now, you know, it's so fucking treasonous and seditious what the government says is that we need more money for healthcare. No, we don't. We need to get rid of the millions and millions and millions of migrants who are using the system. And then that'll take a lot of pressure off. Australia should have... If I was running for federal member for Fadden, who's of course a Liberal, a Uni Party, I shouldn't say, and get rid of that LMP shit on your fucking profiles. You should write Uni Party, UP. If you're Liberal and Labor, you write Uni Party. But I would immediately say Australia's maximum population should be 22 million. And we should get back to that figure by... we should get immediately 2 million people in the next 2 years. And then work back to get to sustain and maintain 22 million Australian citizens by 2050. Now this is a little bit contentious because what happens if Australian citizens start having glorious Australian children, magnificent, perfect Australian children? Then I'm willing to go to 25 million. As long as they're Australian children, born and raised and growing up in the Australian culture, not in some other culture. The glorious, perfect, amazing Australian culture that I was raised in. Because I was born in 1979. I fucking remember the 80s. I remember how Australian we were. We didn't question Australia Day. Indigenous Australians didn't question it. They were like, yeah, we love it. It's a great holiday. Now, the other thing I would do is I would enforce a rule that if you're a foreigner and want to start a business in Australia, small to medium-sized enterprise, you must hire at least 6 Australians before you get to start that business. You cannot hire your fucking family and friends and import them as we see now. No, that would be illegal under my radical rethink of the amazing Australia. Now, going harder. That drive behind me again, too close. I think the people that drive really close to us are gay, but this is the way they enjoy their homosexuality. This guy, again, less than 3 seconds. And this fucker wants to try to be a fucking hard cunt. Good fucking luck, dickhead. But drive like a maniac, dickhead. You know, don't. 3 seconds is nothing. You know? But they all do it because it makes them feel like big men. And women are. Women are worse than men, I think. Because they will. I've seen them raise their hands and shit. But anyway, so that would be number 2. Is at least 6 jobs from Australian-born Australian citizens. And I would
continue on M1 for 20 kilometers.
They're old, so they're useless. That's a nice car, though. It's a small. I don't even know what that is called. Kia. But again, this is why I'm on the fucking Pacific Highway from, you know, Parkwood Gold Coast, Southport Gold Coast, going down to Burleigh Waters, and it's nothing but traffic. Yeah. Aggressive female lesbian, obviously. You can just tell short hair, it's just a fucking giveaway. But the other thing is, I would ban I would just outlaw protests or support for terrorist organizations. Some of the pro-Hamas supporters in the streets, they usually use the Palestinian flag, but we know what that means, as a cover. But no, you don't get to support terrorist organizations. If you want to support them, go where they are and support them there. You can't do it in my country. You know, the other day, I heard a conversation somebody had about the islanders in New Zealand, the Maoris, doing the huck, saying this is a Christian nation, and he said that's pretty racist. That's pretty. Well, what do you say? Like, you know, that's this guy was obviously a queer. Saying that let me just try to remember the words exactly. Like he said it's pretty discriminatory, and that they don't even understand what Christianity is because Christianity was against them. I was like, mother fuck you. Jesus Christ never once raised a fist to anybody. Can't say the same about Muhammad, but no, if you want to have a Christian supporter rally, yeah, that's fine, because Jesus Christ never asked for violence. But if you're like pro-Hamas, no, you can't have that in my country. The other thing I would do is for child molesters, pedophiles, you know, rapists and all that, is they don't get like any human rights afterwards. It has to be absolutely guaranteed they did it. And what we do is we build we fence off, 10 square kilometres in the middle of Australia, in the Simpson Desert. We don't put anything there. There's no shelter, there's no beds, there's no rooms, there's no toilets, there's no food, nothing. We just lock you in there, and the walls are a razor blade. So to get in and out, what you do is you just drop people off by helicopter inside. There's no gates. There's just 0 gates. And you just drop them there and you leave them there. But to actually make it profitable, you should have live cameras across the place, and people just pay $1 a day to watch, so it'd pay itself off. I think this would be a really good money earner, but also we could do some cool stuff, like we can have other countries' sickos come in and do this as well. We don't have to charge them anything. We just drop them off in the middle by helicopter and say, see how long you last. That is what I want to see. And I would also mandate it that every day that Parliament sits, it must be in relation to rescinding 100 laws. 100 ain't shit, because the Labour Party, the Uni Party, sorry, has in the last 2 years, 5,000 new laws. Okay, so we need 5,000 laws rescinded every month until we are back to a very small core group of laws. And we cannot legalise the fucking wording of laws so people can't understand them. It has to be very fucking specific. So that the hate speech laws, it can't just be as fucking what's the word I'm looking for right now? Ambiguous as they are now. It has to be very specific. So the hate speech laws should be that if somebody says, I want to kill, or I will kill, or please kill this person, that is hate speech. But if I just critique the fucking Uni Party leader, Anthony Albanese, he's not the real leader. He's taking advice from somebody. We just don't know who that is. Probably World Economic Forum, United Nations, who fucking knows? But he's not intelligent enough to make his own decisions, right? But you can just tell that man is clinically dumb. No matter what anybody tells me, it's like Kevin Rudd. Kevin Rudd is dumb. He might have a PhD, but he is not a smart man. He couldn't work out President Trump. You have to be a fucking idiot to not work out that man. It's very easy. If you are your nation first and you clearly list your policies and what you see happen, what you want to see happen, if you do that with President Trump, he's going to be your friend. But if you are fucking waiting for your focus group to tell you what to say, he's going to tell you to get the fuck out of the room, which is Kevin Rudd. Kevin Rudd is a very dim man. Like all Australian foreign affairs people, they are fucking dumb because all they do is want to buy friendships. They can't get them through any other means. I know exactly what I'd do with Southeast Asia. I would say, our Australian citizens should be able to get the fucking corruption-free 5-year visas to stay in your countries and be able to own land, and we'll continue giving you some aid. But Australian fucking foreign affairs people are so fucking weak and feckless little cunts. They don't have the kind of testicles you need. But yeah, President Trump would be very fucking easy to work out. Be very clear, that's all. But Kevin Rudd is so full of his own self-importance that he could never work it out. And why the fuck are you thanking him for being a piece of shit? I don't get it. I don't get politics. You are a piece of shit. You couldn't survive in private enterprise. You're so full of shit. Your head's up your ass. You were the shittiest ambassador of all time. Thank you for your service. Here's a fucking medal. Oh, fuck off. You know, it's just like that. Like, you fucking clowns. But no, I would make it that we have to rescind 5,000 laws a month until we are down to a core set of laws. And I would also make it mandatory that we write into our constitution that freedom of speech is our God-given right as Australians. And the other one is I would immediately rescind the evil gun laws in this country. I would allow people to own implements for defense. Now, the reason we need this is because of our government. We do not need the government passing more gun laws. We need them passing migration deportation orders. Oh, another fucking PhD graduate from the Middle East is caught in terrorist charges. Of fucking course, cocksuckers! You are inviting this here because you allow Hamas supporters to fucking roam the streets. Ah! How fucking dumb is our government? But the biggest problem is, I can't blame the seditious and treacherous Uni Party anymore. They are who they say they are. They are for the bureaucratic state, the maintenance and sustenance of the bureaucratic state over everything else. But there are people that vote for them. Oh, ding dong. The Greens as well. The Greens are Labour Party, the radical left-wing lunatics of the Labour Party. But then again, the Labour Party have radical left-wing lunatics too. They also have radical Islamists in their party. So they don't represent Australia. They never will again. They can't represent Australia because Australia is a big fucking Ponzi scheme. That is losing industry. We are losing manufacturing. And it continues. But let's just pass some new laws for hate speech. That'll solve the fucking problem. We can't speak up now against it. No, I think it's about time to vote all these motherfuckers out. Remember, I am not violent. No violence. Don't slap somebody. Don't punch somebody. Don't do anything like that. We just go to the voting booth and we vote One Nation. Now, One Nation are not perfect, but at least they're not the Uni Party. Nationals now too. They got my respect. But if any of them say, Liberal is we're going to fix it up. No, fuck off. No, fuck you. We've turned our back on them and leave them. Now, I understand Labor, they've imported 2 million more people, so they got 2 million more votes. I understand the seditious and treasonous attitude of the Labor Party. Oh, fuck. But... And it's going to be a battle. I don't know if we can win it. But it's definitely going to be a battle. To fix this up, It's going to be an absolute insane battle. But we need everyone in Australia, every Australian-born Australian to vote One Nation. There's no other choice for us. We do have to, as a whole, because the Labor Party have set it up so that even if every Australian-born Australian votes One Nation, there's still a risk that with the fucking easy attitude Australia has towards immigration, and trust me, it's fucking easy. It's too easy to become an Australian citizen. We should ban people from becoming Australian citizens immediately. You can get residency, okay, but you should not be allowed to become Australian citizens. And that means I have friends who are married to people who are born outside of Australia. That's all right. Your kids are born in Australia, so they can become Australian citizens, 100%. But we might go back and have a look at it later on. We might have a moratorium on it, then a referendum on it. Should we allow people born overseas become Australian citizens after 20 years of permanent residency in Australia? Okay, we can have that. And every single referendum Australia holds now should be to lose government powers. So we should have a referendum on gun laws. Should the government rescind all gun laws? Yes or no? If 2/3 say yes, that's a rescind. Does it mean we should have AKs? No, it means we should be allowed to have pistols and rifles to defend our home. That's it. We don't need machete bins. We need fucking holsters. But the only reason they do that is because the government is prepared to do evil things to us. You know, imagine slamming. I mean, we saw this in COVID. We don't even need to pretend like it's a fantasy. It fucking happened. And remember, no violence. We just vote these motherfucking criminals out. It is a criminal enterprise now. It's sort of like just a mafia, you know. La Cosa Nostra. We're not really allowed in. The only people who are allowed in are members of the family, you know. Yeah, we should be allowed to defend ourselves if somebody breaks into our home. I don't really have a problem with people being allowed to have, you know, a pistol when they're walking outside. We should have we shouldn't even need carry conceal permits. I don't see why not. I think you should be allowed to get a permit to carry something around. You know, I'd probably feel safer on the street if I saw a good man with a pistol when I'm walking in, you know, dangerous parts of a suburb. I'd feel safe. Anyway, I'm tired again. I'm getting tired because I can't get the medication I need. Oh, no one gives a fuck. Another thing is people talk about healthcare being free. No. Limited healthcare is free, but if you have a very rare disorder, basically our government says fuck you.
In 600 meters, take exit 87.
Don't ever think for a moment that our government wants to do much for us. It wants to do the minimum required to say it's doing something for us. I am in desperate need of that I'm not allowed, and yet I am going down hard. They don't care because my vitals show that I'm able to survive in this current state. What they don't understand is that I'm continually falling down hard. They don't care. And it's scary. Oh, yeah, all my joints hurt. Fucking problem, man. People driving cars, they think they're fucking Ayrton Senna, and they just fuck you. Slow the fuck down. You know, it gets annoying. They get really fucking annoying. But luckily, I can go this way. Don't trouble at all. But why the fuck do you have to drive like a maniac to make yourself feel like a big man? I just don't understand it. Anyway. fucking tired again. I need this fucking shit, you know. And it feels like it hollows out your bones as well. Like you just have the energies just leaving your body. But the Australian government will allow us to get sick, homeless, die in the streets, as long as they can maintain their superiority over us. When in reality, when in a representative democracy, we are the ones who should have the power over the government. But it's not the case anymore. Our government owns us. We are slaves to the government, and we are not allowed to criticize the government. In fact, let me just make this clear, Anthony Albanese, because I know you watch my videos. You're the greatest Prime Minister Australia's ever had. You and Penny Wong are so fucking smart, and even the Tony Burke motherfucker, he's the greatest human being of all time. I love the Labor Party. You guys are so good and perfect, and you don't have to watch any further because I'm just going to keep honouring you and honouring you. I know that means you're going to keep watching because all you like to do is hear people praising you when you've never lived a one fucking day in your world that you created, motherfuckers. Because you're all protected there in Canberra. Scum, vote these cocksuckers out. That's all I can say. Vote them all out. Vote the cocksuckers and Penny Wong out. Alright, vote them all out. Get rid of them. We don't need them. One nation, one nation, one nation, one nation, one nation, one nation, one nation!